All right, welcome back. On the face of it, as a whole, I would say the U.S. economy is doing pretty well. Actually, some places very well. But the problem is that the areas that are doing well are pretty much favoring the upper income earners, while the lower income folks, well, they're still struggling to get by. Now, they're dealing with the inflation tax that kills them at the grocery store, with their insurance costs, and just even getting on the housing ladder, to name a few issues, right? They're most likely renting and not benefiting from the real estate appreciation, and they have little to no stock accounts, so they've missed that boat as well. And when you lay over everything with the comments from the CEO of Anthropic AI, you begin to paint kind of a bleak picture for a large part of the economy, right? The CEO warned that AI will act as a general labor substitute rather than just a tool, predicting painful, widespread disruption to jobs. Now, I'd like my next guest to comment on this stuff. He's a stock picker, and that might affect some of the stocks he picks. So let's bring him onto the show, the venerable Mr. Keith Fitz-Gerald, the Sultan of Seattle. Thanks for being on the show, sir. Lovely to have you on. I've been out and about, traveling a lot. A lot of people give us great feedback, and they love to hear what you have to say. So thanks for being on. We really appreciate it. All right. This is an argument, not an argument. This is a debate that I'm having with a lot of people, and a lot of people disagree with me, Keith. And let me tell you where I stand, and I want to hear what you have to say, and then how that might affect some of the things that you trade and buy for your customers. I'm on the side of Anthropic AI's CEO, and I also am on the side of Elon Musk, where they both say that this is technology which is the first technology that's actually come out to replace workers, not enhance workers. I do believe that the jobs lost don't come back. Now, there might be cottage industries that come around and things that pop up that we can't know about just yet. But I'm afraid that the disruption to the white-collar jobs that really just are data gatherers could be significant, at least in the short term. What say you?
Well, respectfully, I'm going to push back, and here's why. Innovation constantly creates two things: fear and new sources of profit. And so, for example, 100 years ago, if you'd walked into a Grange anywhere and said 98 out of 100 of you farmers in the room are going to be out of work and in other fields within the century, you would have been laughed out of the room. I think that's where we are with AI. So I am absolutely opposed to what he just said, the AI CEO. Anthropic CEO, I think he's on the wrong side of history here. And I think his remarks were taken out of context, frankly. Innovation has always produced profit. It has always produced more jobs than it destroyed. We have, if that were truly the thing about displacement, we would have already seen that beginning. We aren't seeing that today. But we are seeing the fear, and we are seeing the trickle through. And so you're not going to lose your jobs to AI per se. You're going to lose your jobs to people who know how to use it. So I do think that it is going to be an enhancer, not a destroyer.
Okay, I hope you're right, because I generally hope I'm wrong. And look, I don't take this lightly, because I was displaced from technology because I used to wear a funny colored jacket and scream all day on the floors of the exchanges, and now that job is gone because technology booted us all out. So I don't take it lightly when I talk about stuff like that, but I just say from my experience, I'm worried that that's going to be the case, and like I said, I hope I'm wrong. But now, having said that, I do love technology. I really do. And 84%, this is a new thing I got over the weekend with some research, Keith, 84% of the globe, right? We're talking 8 billion people, have not touched AI yet.
Bingo.
That really still tells me we're way, way, way early. Would you agree with that?
Yes, we are so early in the game that the hot dog vendors aren't even warmed up if this was a baseball, game. I mean, really, the fact that we've got so many people that haven't encountered AI yet. Imagine what happens to disease, famine, water, food shortages, even money. All of these things are going to change radically. And again, my data, the stuff I'm seeing, my research suggests that 60 to 70% of the young people today, within the next 5 years, are going to work in job fields that we don't even know exist yet, for which we have no names, for which we have no descriptions. People thought that accountants would disappear when they came in with spreadsheets. People thought that paper would disappear when we invented, computers. So there are a lot of corollaries in the law of unintended consequences here. And again, I think short term it's definitely scary because it's a reset. But if you look at history, and I mean thousands of years of humanity, every innovation has produced more jobs than it has destroyed, period.
I mean, we've probably seen a lot of AI sneak into medicine, which I wouldn't even know anything about. But and that's one of my wife's big worries, that might make me live longer. Who knows? But those types of things are things that are exciting coming around the corner, right? So if I'm excited about AI, which I am, I'm excited about technology. What should I be looking at now, even in the midst of this kind of anti-AI sentiment that we've got going on in the markets? Would you agree that there is a little bit of that smell out there?
Oh, it's not just a little bit of smell. I mean, this has more red flags than a communist parade. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think what you want to do is think about which companies are getting hit hardest, yet continue to make the stuff that people need. I mean, they can't survive without AMD. They can't survive without NVIDIA. They can't survive without Microsoft. These are as must-have as it gets. So if you're looking at the gold rush, which is the parallel I draw here, in 1849, there were thousands, tens of thousands of people that went into the hills hoping to strike it rich, and they never did. But you know who made the bank? Was the guys selling liquor, medicine, and shovels. And so that's what you got to focus on today if you're an investor. And again, the markets are foul, they're nasty, but the cost of waiting for opportunity in perfect markets exceeds the opportunity of investing in imperfect markets.
I haven't taken a look at Microsoft stock today, but I do know that I just recently saw it trade over $500 a share, and I recently just saw it over less than $400 a share. I mean, I'm not a math whiz there, Keith, but that's a 20% sell-off in my book, and a 20% sell-off to a firm like Microsoft is got to be ginormous. I mean, that's got to be an opportunity right there, doesn't it?
Well, I would think so, because if Treasury is doing their job properly, they're hedging that. If they're looking at an opportunity for buybacks, they've got that. It affects short-term revolving debt. Yes, okay, that's great. But it doesn't change innovation, doesn't change the customer adoption rate, doesn't change the fact that they could be on the cusp of doing something really innovative with stuff that we haven't even seen yet. So again, the thing that's different, that's uncomfortable for so many people, is what used to take years, Scott, when you and I were back in the trenches and you were wearing goofy jackets and I was calling in orders. The fact of the matter is that this is accelerated, right? It's the time compression is 5 to 1, 6 to 1. So all the volatility that we used to have is still there. It's just like this. In the social media world, the media now, internet information goes around the world like that. That's what makes people uncomfortable, because there's no time to deal with it. All you can do is react unless you know what's coming.
And I would have to say, probably, if things are uncomfortable, that means there's probably some opportunity out there.
Bingo.
Would you say that?
100 opportunity. Chaos creates opportunity. And the more the former you have, the more the latter there is.
Right. So when you're uncomfortable, that means there's something, there's a good deal to be had. Appreciate you coming on, Keith. I spoke to a lot of folks over the last 10 days that said they really love what you have to say, and they can't wait to see you on the show. I appreciate it. We love having you as well. Thank you very much for being on. Keith Fitz-Gerald coming